My name is Sohyeon Hwang, and I'm a postdoctoral researcher at Princeton University, where I'm at the Center for Information Technology Policy. I would describe my research as being focused around this one question: how can and should everyday people shape the governance of digital technologies, especially platforms that pervade our everyday lives? A lot of my work has focused on communities on platforms that already exist. So that has included communities like Reddit or Wikipedia, where people are volunteering their time and resources to create rules, develop automated tools and bots to help manage communities and direct resources, make them more pro-social spaces, as well as think about how people can have more enjoyable experiences online to improve their digital lives. One of the big takeaways from my research is I'm hoping that it's like quite hopeful in many ways. It kind of sends the message that people do have opportunities to make a difference in the technologies in our lives by thinking about the ways that communities like both defer to as well as subvert existing platforms, whether that's, changing the ways that we interpret really these very abstract rules about harassment that a platform might set, but in ways that create safe spaces and pro-social experiences. I think a lot of the work that I've seen and done sends a more hopeful message about the opportunities we have to do more of this community-based work where people are driving the decisions on platforms. And if we can take advantage of these opportunities and build more capacity, build systems, think about better policies, think about new kinds of systems that we can encourage people to adopt instead, those are all ways that people can have more voice in technology today. In the past, I've done a lot of existing systems. Right now, I'm actually transitioning to thinking about decentralized platforms, so places like decentralized social media, where you see apps like Mastodon and Blue Sky. These are real opportunities for us to shift not just like the way that we organize, but also the technical infrastructure that changes the level of power people have and the kinds of decisions that they make. I feel like a lot of people my age have seen these platforms come into being and dominance, as well as some turnover in them. And so the question of platform technologies in particular is kind of always in the back of our mind. I think part of my undergrad studies kind of oriented a sensitivity to questions and problems in this space. So I studied government as well as information science. And in the former, I was studying like Cold War era politics, thinking about like history of revolutions and ideology. And then in the latter, I was doing data science and data ethics. And so both of those kind of separate streams I think hone like a kind of attention to questions or problems that I started seeing in the world around me. But it wasn't really until I think it was my last semester in college, and then I did a summer internship at an investigative journalism place. And I was on the audience team there where I was interacting with their online community a lot, as well as trying to build networks for them or help coordinate some of their journalism networks online. And it made me, I think that was a moment where I really saw impact of platforms firsthand and thought of it did make me think there's something really interesting going on here that we could leverage to make a difference in the world. When I think about community-based models of governing technologies and platforms, you end up having a lot of different points of decision-making, and they reflect different values or goals. And at some point, we have to coordinate across those. But I think this is actually like a deeper question about how we interact with each other as human beings. A lot of times when you come face to face with someone who's different or has made different decisions from you, the urge is to like judge, I think, or to have a kind of adversarial tension about it. But once we are able to overcome that and we see each other's like inner lives as just as deep as our own, then you can collaborate and coordinate on shared values and shared interests towards a much better society.